Welcome back to Inuyasha Anime Review. This is part 23. Yeah, now we're in the final act season. Yep, final act. A season that aired from 2009, like late 2009 to about early 2010, lasting 26 episodes. Yeah, this one, pretty much from what I can tell, that most of the remaining manga doesn't have the entirety of it, from what I can tell. Not really, no, for some strange reason. Yeah, it skips over certain chapters, but looks like it does adapt the ending of the actual series. Yep. Now, these episodes do adapt a lot of chapters. Some of the sequences they adapt out of order for some strange reason, but it doesn't affect the pacing of the. No, I mean, 8 episodes. These mostly adapt the 359, 380, 382, 364, 403, 416, 14, 422, 424, 1, 434, 46, 449, 442 to 465, 505 to 512. Yep. These episodes really advance the series because we're in the end. We have to basically have to have a lot. We have to have characters die. We have to have an object get destroyed. We have to advance the story. We can't just drag it on for quite a while. In the first episode, first time we see Kagome is actually in modern day, which I'm like, yeah, that kind of makes sense to start off there because because here's kind of thing when the season started back in Japan, it had been 5 years, so they probably figured, okay, why don't we have Kagome start in modern day instead of already back in feudal Japan? Smart move on their part. Yep, and she's in modern day taking a makeup test because she's been gone for quite a while. Yeah, they mentioned a character in here. I'm like, okay, how the heck is this character alive? It's never thoroughly explained. Yeah, and her friends basically open the door, and Inuyasha shows up. By the way, not wearing the ball cap he usually wears. Nope, he wearing the rag on his head when he was basically fixing her bike during the episode. I think it was like 160 when they actually met. These episodes also considered to be episodes 168 to 175 of the series. Yep. And of course, they see Inuyasha, and they have no problem with him. In the manga, only one had no problem with him. The other two didn't really like him very much. Yeah, and they have no problem with him at all. They just apparently she didn't do too well on the makeup test, and basically Inuyasha carries her home, and then she goes back to, well, before they leave, you have one other scene set in modern day for these episodes, where Kagome and her friends basically fill an application out to go to this particular high school they want to go to, and that's it for modern day. Well, there's another thing basically set at the temple, where I just pointed out the animations that look like it's changed since the final episode. It's dramatically updated to what the style that I'm used to, basically, to what was basically seen from like late 2009, from 2000 up until like mostly present day. Yeah, it's been slightly updated. Yep, and they pray at the temple, then she goes back to Japan, back to Philadelphia, and she's there for the rest of these episodes. What goes on in the first, and here's the thing, over the course of these episodes, 3 characters get killed off. 3. And in case you're wondering, is there any like new characters introduced? One that I can think of. Yeah, one new character is introduced, and actually about 4 characters get killed off of these episodes. Yeah, 4 characters die. One new character is introduced. Several new plot developments for the main villain of the series, and some stuff related to Shumaru basically isn't here as well. And it's revealed that the guy who showed up toward the end of the previous season, yeah, apparently he's alive. And he's become this Myoshu character, which I don't remember this character at all. I barely remember him. And, oh yeah, apparently he's under the influence of the infant. Kagura breaks him out because she wants to betray Naraku. Okay, fine. And despite the fact that, here's the thing, she's convinced it's by Hagoshi. Yeah, this is episode here is Hagoshi's last appearance in the series. Why? He dies. Yep, he gets killed off. So you can kind of say these first 8 episodes are just tying up loose ends from the previous season by killing off 4 characters and destruction of an object. Which I'll get to destruction of soon. Yep, when There's also loose head with Koga in here as well. Yep. So basically, Inuyasha fights Agoshi in the same episode, and he's basically about to destroy him. And then Naraka takes away his barrier, and then he's destroyed by Moroku. Yep, first character to die in the very first episode, nonetheless. Kagura basically fights Inuyasha briefly. Of course, Inuyasha is a protector. And she also gives Kohaku one of her hairpins. By the way, what happens to this hairpin? Never revealed. It just disappears. It's never seen again. Kohaku is never seen holding it. Not that I can think of, no. She has apparently got two little things. And she runs into Naraku in episode 2, where he proceeds to get back her heart, and then he stabs her in the frickin' chest. Not near her heart, mind you, but slowly kills her. Oh, and what's with Shimuru? In episode 2, he fights Miyosu, and during his first battle with him, he breaks his sword. Yep, the sword Tokishin is broken. And it's never seen again. It just broke it. And he says, I have no use for a broken sword. So he tosses what's left of the sword aside. And the sword is never seen again. He basically says his other sword. And he goes to Kagura, where she dies right in front of him. And basically Inuyasha says, what happened? Did she die sad? No, she died with a smile on her face. Probably because she died, basically, look at the man she's in love with. Yeah, it's been hinted at that Kagura has had a thing for Shishamaru, but she's never expressed it at all, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, and here's also interesting, though. Shishamaru has no problem looking at Kagura. Now, Kagura, basically, toward the end of the previous season, she was shown to be topless in front of him, and he had no reaction to it. I mean, dude, Shishamaru, you have a smoking hot woman right in front of you who's showing herself topless in front of you, and you have no reaction to it at all. Dude, what is your problem? Yep. And because of the fact that his sword, Tenseiga, basically reacted, and apparently Tokishin had to make an appearance. Yes, Tokishin, the guy whose sword forged both swords. So basically, Shimashura is reforged with a fence weapon that sends demons. He basically slides at them, and looks like it doesn't kill them. But nope, it opens up a portal to another world. Yep, sending their souls there. It's like, need to basically keep training with it. He doesn't do very much after this at all in these episodes. He just basically slices up and basically the sky forms like a crescent moon. He does appear once more after this. Doesn't do very much these episodes. And yeah. And there's a couple more characters get killed off here. Yeah. Yeah, they also basically introduce an object basically that kind of becomes and like this development for Kikyo in these episodes. Yeah, from episode 3 to episode 8, it's basically kind of think of these episodes as the end of Kikyo. Yep, the end of Kikyo, where she's apparently wounded and she just, and of course, well, I'll get to him, and we have basically, before I get back to her, I want to talk about Miyosu. Yeah, he goes around just stealing stuff. First he steals some armor, then he takes out 2 demons who are bonded with each other to reforce the armor. And by the way, the infant is actually inside this guy's arm. Until he tries to, like, okay, you have enough power, so let's go absorb Naraku. He kind of does, but nope, absorbs from the inside out. And apparently when Inuyasha started using the enemy at the barrage, he decided to take his power. This stuff he still has it, by the way. And we also have, in episode 4, we have sort of a development for Inuyasha itself. Basically, a new ability for his sword. Basically, a dragon scale becomes dragon scales. And he tries using it basically as soon as he gets at defeating the swordsmith, who tried to think he was going to take the power, but nope. He basically took the sword, and, well, that was that. Though the sword itself basically was up in the previous episode, episode 3, where there was a fox demon exam, which Shipper was basically happily involved with unintentionally. Yeah, it's just a comedy episode of basically him bullying pranks them. And eventually the test is it's never revealed exactly what happened with the contestants at all. And apparently Roku's weakness is basically being surrounded by a bunch of women. And of course Song will be upset with him over it. And there's also one point prior to this where she decided to do reversing on him, where he has sent to struck her butt, and she decided to say to him just in case it was Shippo. Yep. Doesn't work. He's like, don't you trust me? He's like, no. Yeah, and of course, basically, Shippo calls Sung on it. And as far as I know, they never do this again, these episodes. By the way, their engagement, never mentioned at all. It's assumed these two are a couple. It's not really delved upon at all. Not really, no. Yeah. So, there was this girl, the demon girl, who says, oh yeah, it's like supposedly her father, and of course, father died of food poisoning. And later on, like, they'll kill one of the demons, like, Super thought it was him. But no, and of course, you have this sword, basically absorbing power, and it turns out it's not the actual thing. And it turns out what he was smelling was actually the old man himself, who disguised himself as a girl. Like, why the heck would he do that for? And the guy is easily defeated by Inuyasha. Yep, so goes the swordsmith, who apparently is human, who turns to a dragon. He's defeated after a long, grueling battle. And then pretty much also take out the demon who actually hired him to forge the sword. Takes him out first, then take out the swordsmith, who became corrupted because of the sword. And then he basically tries to use it right away, burns his hands. Okay, let's go through some training. Yeah, go to this particular great demon spirit. Finds him in this village, and he's like, huh, why would you hide here for? And they go inside of his hut, and it's like, oh yeah, this is typical for a demon to basically live in something like this. And when he's found, apparently his internal organs taken. Like, how the heck is this guy even alive? His internal organs taken. So they proceed to go find them. They try to take one demon, like nope, and of course the sword itself is chained up, and tries to take out and of course they got a snake demon, takes that pretty easily, and takes out a cockroach. Of course they assume this is a human and a woman and her son. Turns out just a couple demons. Eventually, another demon shows up, and I think this might be the one where it has the. But and we'll try to think, but basically, so I'd say he basically finds the swirling vortex. Yeah, this is basically something to bring up to use his ability, and slices it and defeats him, and the guy returned normal, like Shimmer's form. It basically probably the version was before because it looked like a dish rag, and he basically completed his training, and. Well, the guy himself was never seen again. He shows up in this one episode, and that's it. And then pretty much after this, he go fight Miyosa for the next couple episodes before he gets absorbed by Naraku. Bye-bye him, and then Naraku absorbs the infant. Bye-bye infant. That's another character to get killed off. And the last two episodes is the end of Kikyo. Yep, Kikyo was wounded by, well, Naraku, and of course she has to basically... Also, this subplot involving her and... Kohaku. This lasts for about 3 episodes, where Kohaku starts briefly traveling with her in order to sort of end his life because of the whole Shukan, the shard of the jewel is back. Travels with her for a while, and then we have this brief thing where he uses this guy called Byakuya. No, not related to the character from Bleach, completely unrelated character. Though he kind of looks like Naraku if he was more feminine. That's what the best way to describe this guy. Plus, he carries a sword. And apparently, he's just a spectator. He doesn't get involved in the event unless he really needs to. Yeah, he's just an observer. And basically, Koga, he convinces a wolf demon to attack Koga. And, well, he's able to take out the guy, turn him basically back. And, yeah, this guy is stupid. So he basically gets killed by, and of course, the demon he's with gets killed by Inuyasha. And then Koga's two subordinates who've been traveling with him the whole series, recurring gag, can't keep up with him. Also, his wolves disappeared that was with him too. Yeah, they completely disappear. They're never mentioned again. And as for these two, they basically stay where they are, and Koga decides to chop with Inuyasha for a little while. Yep. And Kikyo herself, well, first she gets wounded by Naraku, thanks to the webs, and thanks to his bow, is able to basically, well, of course, Kagome had to fight a illusion of Kikyo that basically is based on a version of what she thought from her heart, and basically call her bullcrap nonsense. And the illusion's defeated, and she's able to get the bow she's after. And then Naraku shows up. Of course, Kikyo was there because Inuyasha's brother there. And then, of course, the jewel is taken from her. She takes jewel from Naraku. Of course, thinking he's in the port, but nope, not really there. Of course, Koga's shards look like they're taken, and those shards are too pure. And then by the end of episode 8, Kikyo dies. Yep, that's the end of Kikyo. Yep. And of course, Naraku absorbed another demon who could basically break through barriers. That's it, was able to absorb the infant. Though the jewel he was carrying, that was absorbed by Moroku. Yeah, Moroku, before he did this, when he was absorbing miasma, when they were battling the infant, he apparently took up so much asthma, basically was burning up his arm and part of his chest, and then Kikyo basically just healed it up, put the miasma in her, and that's the whole subplot with her going to the mountain basically came in. And by the end of episode 8, she dies. And that's... Well, and what happened with Kohaku? He was briefly taken out by Bayaka, but he's freed by Shishimaru, who basically frees Kohaku and takes him with him as a companion. This lasts for pretty much the rest of the series, in case you're wondering. Yeah, he travels with him the rest of the series. But not much else to say about these episodes. They're good. And I know Total Sequence is out of order, but the anime did the same thing too. But I think I covered pretty much everything with these episodes. Yep. So yeah, that's it for this particular review. My next review will be a review of the newest chapter of Demon Slayer. That'll be up next. Okay? So see you next view. Bye.